Hi guys, it's Julian and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will continue reading Polyglot Notes, and in the last video we finished the chapter about how to improve the listening skills, and we start the new one chapter which it is called how to improve our speaking skills. And we mentioned a couple of techniques which we can use to improve this aspect of about our language. And those techniques are, first of all, recording ourselves talking about a particular topic, or read out loud. Yeah, that's it basically. And well, let's go ahead with this and let's do this. Okay, the next technique is sing songs in a foreign language. It is easier for people to memorize words that are related to rhythm and music. Many songs use phrases and expressions familiar to native speakers. Therefore, singing songs you imperceptibly add to your vocabulary. Work with video. Watch short videos. Work with video. This is another technique. Watch short videos. Pause. Okay. Watch short videos. Pause and repeat what you hear. Watch short videos. Pause and repeat what you hear. You can find similar videos on language learning sites as well as on YouTube. This is one of the best tools for learning a foreign language. Use short video clips that you need to practice as carefully as possible. Listen very carefully. Pause, focus on listening and speaking sounds and words in the video. Okay, that's pretty cool and sounds very important, like in the way in which the author mentioned this aspect. So I will reread this paragraph again. Work with video, guys. Watch short videos. Pause and repeat what you hear. You can find similar videos on language learning sites as well as on YouTube. This is one of the best tools for learning a foreign language. Use short video clips that you need to practice as carefully as possible. Listen very carefully. Pause, focus on listening and speaking sounds and words in the video. Working on mistakes. As other domestic students about typical pronunciation problems in the language you're studying, this was very bad. Working on mistakes. Ask other domestic students about typical pronunciation problems in the language you're studying. Focus on practicing your pronunciation and you will seriously increase your chances of speaking a foreign language correctly. Learn only one language option. Initially, this will help get rid of the dialectical porridge in your head. Learn only one language option. Initially, this will help get rid of the dialectical porridge in your head. Watch your body language. Our gestures affect conversations in the same way as words, and sometimes more strongly. Sometimes it is possible to understand a foreigner by his gestures, without understanding a word. Learn to control your gestures so that they are consistent with your words. Learn to control your gestures so that they are consistent with your words. For example, you say that you listen attentively to the person you're talking to and you stumble into your phone. Tell someone that you're happy to see them. Okay. Tell someone that you're happy to see them and cross your arms on your chest. Get rid of the word parasites. Get rid of the word parasites. It's not the best word to have a conversation with. Yeah, that's true. And that's because usually I try to close my mouth when I try to speak seriously, because I can avoid that. If I close my mouth, I cannot say or it could be very uncomfortable for you and for the other people. Okay, get rid of the words parasites. It's not the best word to have a conversation with. You try to get rid of embarrassing pauses with them, but you only make it worse. Yeah, that's funny. These words are parasites that annoy listeners. Yeah, that's very true, dude. Control your speech. Track those words to get rid of them once and for all. These pauses are more noticeable than you think. Try speaking slower to get your mind to build up the sentence you're going to say. Okay, that's pretty important, dude. Prepare some topics for conversations. It is good if you're naturally sociable and you always have something to talk about. Such people satisfying their thirst for communication. Such people satisfying their thirst for communication do not have long-term difficulties in developing conversation skills. Such people satisfying their thirst for communication do not have long-term difficulties in developing conversation skills. But there are people who have difficulty communicating. This is a problem for them, especially with strangers. There are generally accepted topics for conversation. To start a conversation, it is enough to say hello politely. Ask how your future conversation partner is doing. Ask how your future conversation. Okay, ask. I will drink a little bit of water. There are generally accepted topics for conversation. To start a conversation, it is enough to say hello politely. Ask how your future conversation partner is doing. Introduce yourself. Tell them where you come from, and further translate your conversation into topics such as family, profession, entertainment, hobbies, dreams, etc. Ask where you're coming from and what cultural and historical attractions are there, etc. Samples of the most common topics of communication are presented in any textbooks with the task. You can prepare this kind of information about yourself. Okay, samples of the most common topics of communication are presented in any textbook with the task. You can prepare this kind of information about yourself. Tell a story. Each person has his own fascinating and instructive story, which will be curious. Each person has his own fascinating and instructive story, which will be curious to listen to your interlocutors. Sometimes the stories that seem ordinary to us can create a furor. Sometimes the stories that seem ordinary to us can create a furor. Ask the questions. Yeah, that's very important. The most standard questions you can ask your interlocutor are about his plan. Okay. The most standard questions you can ask your interlocutor are about his plans for the weekend, about his work, studies, children, preferences in music and art, what books he reads, hobbies, what kind of rest he prefers. Do not be distracted. Always listen carefully to your interlocutor. This will allow you to better understand his speech and respond adequately. Sorry, guys, and respond adequately. Okay, this will allow you to better understand his speech and respond adequately to questions. Follow the rules of decency when talking. Follow the rules of decency when talking. Pay attention to the person you're talking to, not your smartphone. If you receive a call during the conversation, do not rush to grab the phone. Reject the call and call back when you're free. Or ask the person you're talking to forgive generously. Or ask the person you're talking to forgive generously, explaining that is an important call. Keep your audience in mind. Your listeners may keep your audience in mind. Your listeners may may vary in age. Okay. Keep your audience in mind. Your listeners may vary in age, social and gender characteristics, and the degree of intimacy. For each audience, choose the appropriate style of communication. You will not operate with complex words when talking to children, but with employees at work to talk as if they were okay. Sorry. If you will not operate with complex words when talking to children, but with employees at work to talk as if they were children, although this does happen. It is unseemly to behave in the presence of women. It is unseemly to behave in the presence of women as if you were talking to men from a pub. Yeah, that's pretty common. And it is very unhealthy to talk to men from a car repair shop as if you were talking to lovely ladies. And it is very unhealthy to talk to men from a car repair shop as if you were talking to lovely ladies. What? Yeah, that's confusing, but it's funny. Smile at. Smile at. A smile is a universal gesture that is unambiguously interpreted in any country in the world. A smile person will patiently answer any. Okay, sorry, my nose. A smiley person will patiently answer any questions, even if your interlocutors have to repeat the answer several times. Yeah, that's true. Express yourself clearly. On the one hand, epithets, descriptions, and various metaphors can decor. Okay, express yourself clearly. On the one hand, epithets, descriptions, and various metaphors can decorate your speech and make it interesting. On the other hand, excessive abstractions can make your conversation cloudy and incomprehensible to your interlocutor. So be as clear, precise, and concise as possible. Start talking from the first class. Start talking from the first class. Once you have mastered the rules of reading and elementary grammatical constructions, okay, start talking from the first class. Once you have mastered the rules of reading and elementary, okay. Once you have mastered the rules of reading and elementary grammatical constructions, start composing simple sentences from those few words that you have already mastered. If you're learning a language with hieroglyphic writing, then learn its transcription based on Latin script, which is international and most popular. Studying the hieroglyphics themselves will take a long time, and you should learn to speak at once. Okay, that's weird. Do not which kind of person study that kind of language, huh? But do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. Do not hesitate to accent. Of course, you should strive to reproduce sounds as clearly and accurately as possible, but the emphasis should not become an obstacle to communication. Okay, do not hesitate to accent. Of course, you should strive to reproduce sounds as clearly and accurately as possible, but the emphasis should not become an obstacle to communication. Fact the fact the tautology. Fact the tautology. Fact the tautology. Several consecutive words with the same meaning can be replaced with one word without losing their meaning. Fact the tautology. Several consecutive words with the same meaning can be replaced with one word without losing their meaning. Harmonize words. Correctly organize words within a sentence even if it is complex. Correctly organize words within a sentence, even if it is complex. Do not use words and phrases that you do not know their meaning. Do not use words and phrases that you do not know their meaning. If you do not know the meaning of a word or phrase, if you do not know the meaning of a word or phraseology, either find out or refrain from using it. Never allow free use of phraseology. Before using any of them, find out exactly how it sounds and in what situations it is used. The Hungarian translator and famous polyglot Kato Lom, in her book How I Learned Foreign Languages, describes an unpleasant case when her colleague describes an unpleasant case when her colleague, a Russian translator, said during a visit to a high-ranking delegation from the Soviet Union, "Tablecloth of a road," mistakenly believing that these expressions, I'm awful in this paragraph, mistakenly believing that this expression corresponds to a benevolent message. Have a good trip. There is such an expression in English. There is such an expression. Have a good trip. There is such an expression in English. Good riddance. An expression used when one is placed that someone or something is leaving or stopping. A shortened version of the phrase "good riddance to bad rubbish." Well, I can't understand this. Well, I didn't want to talk to you anyway, so good riddance. After such a political calamity of international importance, the Hungarian side had to explain itself for a long time and apologize. Also, do not use adjectives that do not fit with nouns. Okay, the next one, it is arrange rehearsals of your presentations and lectures. Arrange rehearsals of your presentations and lectures. Pick a theme, Pick a theme. Get to know her. Make a supporting outline, a short plan of the performance, which you will look into so as not to lose sight of the thread of the narrative. Pre-prepared presentation slides in the Microsoft PowerPoint program will greatly help you in your speech. Try not to read text from a sheet of paper, laptop, screen, phone. Remember text. If you have an important speech planned at a conference, meeting, or seminar, ask what time you will have according to the regulations. According to the length of your speech, compose the text and create slides showing the main points you want to draw the audience attention to. Pinpoint the time and rehearse your speech. Usually the lecturer will read the text of the presentation during the presentation. Achieve clear pronunciation, speech tempo. Achieve clear pronunciation, speech tempo, and pitch of intonation. Achieve clear pronunciation, speech tempo, and pitch of intonation. Speak tongue twisters. Yeah, I hear that this is pretty useful. Actually, after to start any video, to recording myself, or when I need to talk with a person. To prepare myself, I say a tongue twister, which it is I slit a shed, I shit, I slit, and on that slit shed I said. Something like that. Maybe that word sounds weird because I wanted to say like Google shit, you know what I mean? It's not the bad word. So I don't know. Speak tongue twisters. Train your dictionary with the use of pattern. Speak tongue twisters. Train your dictionary with the use of pattern. Train your dictionary with the use of patterned foreign language phrases by listening to the speaker's performance. Start with the simple ones. Only gradually move from the others to the more complex ones. Then, to get more effect, speak them with your mouth full of nuts. Also, do not knock your teeth when talking. This position of the teeth will prevent you from speaking clearly, which can lead to misunderstanding of your speech. Speak your words relaxed, without any tension. Well, guys, until now, this video, I hope you find it useful. Sorry if the last part was kind of difficult to express myself, but after a while, it's more harder for me express and read. But I hope you find it useful. Give me a like and subscribe, and see you later, guys, and bye bye.